विनंती करता हूं।
थैंक यू प्रफुल्ल भाई। नाउ श्री अनिल देसाई जी।
So in the current budget speech, the Honorable Finance Minister proposed to increase the permissible foreign direct investment limit in insurance companies to 74% from 49%. So in the statement of objects and reasons of the Insurance Amendment Bill 2021, it is stated that in order to achieve the objective of government's foreign direct investment policy of supplementing domestic long-term capital, technology and skills for the growth of the economy and the insurance sector, and thereby enhance insurance penetration and social protection, it has been decided to raise the limit of foreign investment in Indian insurance companies from existing 49% to 74%. So the bill proposes to allow foreign ownership and control with safeguards. As mentioned by Honorable Finance Minister in her speech, under the new structure, the majority of directors on board and key management persons would be resident Indians, with at least 50% of directors being independent directors, and specified percentage of profits will be retained as general reserve. So all these will have no meaning when the ownership goes in the hands of foreign investors. So before the year 2000, the insurance sector was monopoly of state-owned companies like LIC for life sector and 4 general insurance companies, namely New India Assurance, United India, Oriental Insurance, National Insurance and General Insurance Corporations were meant for reinsurance purposes. So with the objective to encourage competition and enhance the insurance penetration under the aegis of IRDA, the insurance regulator, the then government of the day, threw open the insurance sector to private players and also permitted the foreign investment in the insurance sector in the year 2000 by allowing up to 26% to Indian insurance company. Later in 2015, this limit was raised to 49%. So FDI up to 49% in insurance sector was expected to bring in good amount of foreign capital and enhance penetration, but it didn't happen so. If we go by the figures what we have today, that very few companies in life sector and general insurance sector too could reach the foreign holding of 49%. All others, most of the companies are even working with the foreign holdings of less than 26%. So according to 2019 data, insurance penetration in India is 3.76, whereas the world average of insurance penetration is more than 7.23%. So insurance sector will definitely grow multifold without foreign investors, without foreign investor support, as we have tremendous resource. Sir, as per the analysis done by the SBI, the increase in FDI limit in the insurance may receive 5,000 to 6,000 in another 1 or 2 years. And another 5 years of time, we may get foreign direct investment to the tune of 15,000 to 16,000 crores. So if this be the case, we need not go for the foreign direct investment. The resources are available itself in India. So going by the figures and available data, the expected foreign direct investment looks elusive, as foreign investors too would study the terms and conditions, the new structure of directors on board, any conditionality and regulatory approvals attached to the payment of dividend to foreign investors, and then take cautious steps of investing in Indian insurance sector. Sir, even in case a good response emerges from the foreign investors, the insurance sector will always remain under the threat of foreigners who will capture the entire insurance industry and will make huge profits, and flight of capital will not be able to stop by the government authorities. Public sector insurance companies like LIC having market share of 75%, 4 general insurance companies, they are having market share of more than 55%, will over a period of time will fall prey to the private insurance companies owned by the foreigners. Sir, I would therefore urge the government and finance minister to reconsider this step of raising the limit to 74% of FDI in insurance sector, and instead boost the state-owned government insurance companies by infusing capital and strengthening the solvency issue of these companies to enable them to cater to the insurance needs of the Indian people, thereby not allowing the reincarnation of East India Company in Indian soil. Thank you.
Thank you, Anil Desai ji. Next speaker, Sri K. Ravindra Kumar.